This video is sponsored by Hit Black. No, it's not. Nobody will ever sponsor me. But I do want to start off this video by promoting this account for multiple reasons. If you guys noticed, my last video featured a few new artworks of the Kiwi character, and I have nobody else to thank for than Hit Black herself. I absolutely adore these illustrations, and honest to God, I've gotten such a good deal off of them that I honestly thought I was gonna get scammed. But lo and behold, I am currently obsessed and can't stop using these chibis. They're just the ideal in what I look for. I tend to be vague with my descriptions, but she managed to perfectly capture that femboy twink vibe that I want for my OC while still keeping that piece of shittiness that I always have in my videos. 10 out of 10 drawings, so go ahead and check out her page. They post great art, and if you're interested, I heavily recommend her commissions. They're the reason I'm happy enough to do this section of the video, plus the fact that she's a gooner, watches my videos, and most of all, she's an Asian. And I gotta look out for my fellow compatriots so we can conquer the world together. Or just survive from our satanic government officials. Anyways, that's at hitblack_ on Instagram. Back to the video. I heavily dislike cancel culture. Now, of course, sometimes it can do good by taking away the reputations and platforms from those that don't deserve it, but in a lot of cases, it does more harm than good. Sure, I can understand people wanting to stop the godforsaken blasphemy that is rent-a-girlfriend or domestic girlfriend or that one guy who is mentally way older than his girlfriends, but I just don't think you should be taking down other people's works just because what they make is something you hate or disagree with. I shit on Solo Leveling and Fragrant Flowers all the time. These are two slops of two different genres, but I can accept that people can and do enjoy them. So seeing them win Anime of the Year awards didn't really bother me that much. Because at the end of the day, this is entertainment. When it comes to this topic, anything goes as long as you create something that can catch the attention of the consumers. And if all we do is shut people down before them ever finishing what they envisioned, then how do you expect this industry to evolve? Take me, for example. I've made some videos I am not much of a fan of, but they can still serve to make me improve and do better. I started this channel not really knowing what the fuck I want to do, but now I have plenty of plans. I have a nicer flow of things, and I have more confidence. I have ideas coming out easily that I can be proud of.
When are you reviewing My Little Sister Cannot Be This Cute? Oh, actually, I don't know that. Okay. Now, I haven't watched it because I kind of saved it up for this like background plan that I've been thinking for, I'm gonna have to say like years, to be honest, because I've been thinking about this video. But what if I make a reaction series where I react to My Little Sister Cannot Be This Cute, but I watch it with my little sister? That sounds like a generational idea. Me personally, I think that's fucking genius.
Okay, maybe not all my ideas. So what do I want to say in all of this? Well, I read plenty of things every day. It's my job, and nothing hurts me more than to see a story end prematurely without the author or artist realizing their full image. Even if it's a series I am not a fan of, it feels like all of the potential that series could have had is plucked right before my eyes. But recently, I did something different. Something I don't ever do, and that is reading something that I know is already cancelled. Yeah, instead of getting hit with disappointment, I went into this series with the knowledge that the ending was not gonna be ideal. Instead of being blindsided, I came prepared and actually readied myself and braced for impact. So, does it really change things? Does it make the series more enjoyable? Or does it just not matter, and the acting of a story will always end up shitty, no matter how hard they try? Well, to answer that, let's talk about the series. Okay, but before we start the recap, for the final fucking time, that transition card showed the sauce, okay? I'm sick of you dumb fucks going, oh, name? What's the name? Good for bitch, it's right there, okay? Don't XX Mystic, there. You get it? God. Alright, so Albert, he left the classroom by himself as it is time for lunch. Why doesn't he just eat there, you might ask? Well, that's because he has no friends. Damn, he just like me for real. But eating in the toilet though? Yeah, nah, not like me for real. But you see, my previous statement of him being friendless is not all true. Because as he was leaving, he got the attention of one of the girls in class, who then followed him and peeked into his stall. That girl being the popular girl Tsukimine herself. God, don't you just hate it when you're trying to live a normal life but the hottest girls just keep throwing themselves at you? Ugh, I get it, twin. We have it so hard out there. So, Albert, ready to do the usual? Huh? Chotto mate! I haven't even finished my lunch! Daijoubu. That makes it more tasty. No, seriously, I just ate chutney. I smell like ass. So the manga baited the readers by making you think that this was gonna be another rom-com with the setup of the loner going along with the Mary Sue. But this one has a little twist, where instead of them being just a normal high school pairing, turns out that Miss Tsukimine is actually a vampire. A vampire who is addicted to his blood, so they start this secret relationship where she occasionally meets up with him to consume his juices. So even though he wants a quiet life, it is constantly disturbed by the school's beauty, constant entrancement of him. Gosh, I get you so hard right now. They should seriously leave us alone, am I right? Now in chapter 2, we get to learn a bit more about Tsukimine's origins. By not learning at all. Albert brings up the classic vampire tropes like fear of garlic, crosses, not being able to go out in the sun, but all to no avail as they are just minor inconveniences to her. That being said, he did find that her one weakness is to counter her with unexpectedly lewd questions like, hey, so why do you always suck my neck? What? Yeah, like, it doesn't matter where the blood comes from, right? So, why always go there? Baka! You don't just ask a question like that to a pure vampire maiden like me. Reflect on what you've done. Ah, damn. I really wanted her to suck my dick. But the relationship is not all too heartless, as Tsukimine doesn't only see him as a bag of blood. Like in the 3rd chapter when Albert sprained his ankle, so she went up to check on him. And sucked his blood again. Yeah man, we really have it rough out there. No, really though. After that, they coincidentally met up outside of school, went on a night walk together, got each other's line, and just straight up bonded. The things they talk about are mundane, but I think you can tell that you have a good relationship with someone where you just talk about straight nothing. Just the comfort of being in that person's company making you happy. Tsukimine pranks him by acting like she's about to suck his blood again, but then jukes him by taking a Welfie. How mischievous. And then she ends it off by giving him a good night. That's sweet. Then she sent the Welfie photo to him via the line they just added, to which he grunts in annoyance, but still saves the photo anyway. Aww, that's pretty cute. And then we get to see the photos themselves, including the chapter cover, which shows Albert being a hunk. Huh. God, don't you just hate it when your homie turns out to be extremely hot so you can't help but discard the platonic relationship you tried to build so you can pursue him romantically? Man, we have it so rough out there, am I right, Tsukimine? Now I'ma just spoil the ending of this manga straight up in 5 seconds, so leave this video if you don't want to hear it. But it pretty much ends with Albert and Tsukimine getting together. Shocker, I know. They go on a night walk to the beach, Albert confesses his feelings, followed along with Tsukimine reciprocating them, she pushes him down, they kiss. Shocker. No, really, not because I didn't think they would show it, but because I can't believe they would really make out while they're laying down in the sand and ocean water is everywhere. That's a really salty kiss is all I'm saying. But while this ending felt pretty rushed towards the end due to the manga of course getting axed, it didn't feel too out of nowhere because of how it already started. From the beginning, the pairing between Albert and Tsukimine is already pretty peculiar compared to others. They mention how they became friends by chapter 3, but I don't think it was ever at a point where it was completely platonic. In Albert's case, we would initially see his loner life as pitiful until we realized that he actually wanted it that way. He is an introvert through and through, to the point that he thinks of one of the friend he has to be super annoying. I mean, bro was searching for her weakness by chapter 2 and that suggested a stake to the heart. Meanwhile, Tsukimine liked him from the start and was even the one who brought up the line of friendship between them first. This is also right after you just sucked them up in the bathroom. See what I mean? From the get-go, this is already not a normal friendship. It even already went deeper when she started wondering if Albert has a girlfriend and whether or not her sucking him constitute as cheating or not. So to ask that question, she brings him up to have a one-on-one talk in school over the rooftops. Bitch, this was like a love confession. Or how about when her and her friends crash in Albert's place to study, and her friends left to buy some dildos or whatever, it doesn't matter. They do the, oh my god, it's just the two of us right now, kya. And usually in a typical rom-com, this leads to the guy accidentally tripping and putting his hands down over her. No, these bastards just go straight to the action. Hey guys, I don't think you should be doing that before marriage. or holding hands for that matter, really. So in a way, this manga is already set up so that the ending can happen at any time. Albert just follows along to Tsukimine's whims and end up blushing every chapter. That boy like her. Tsukimine teases him on a daily about how he looks at her with lewd eyes. She bites his neck for blood, but climbs on top of him while doing so. Like, you do know that last part is optional, right? On top of that, you even see his mushroom grow and is unsurprised by it. Sister, you guys are practically married. If the next chapter they decide to end it by doing the confession, it wouldn't at all feel out of place because their relationship itself is already right there at the finish line. If romance pairings are a race, these twos would look like this. But does that mean that romance is perfect? No. Obviously, the author had way more in mind for these two. We didn't get to see much elaboration towards the side characters. Her one friend has a very interesting quirk about herself. Her other friend is apparently her childhood friend who may or may not be a vampire herself. And by the way, what would be the challenges of having a relationship with one anyway? Right after the confession, Tsukimine says that she's wanted to confess but couldn't because she was worried about her being a vampire while he was a human. Because that'd mean they couldn't take the final step.
What the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean?
Are you telling me you don't have a vagina or something? You brought me along to your whims, seduce me, bring up all this hope in me just to lay down that we can't do premarital sex? Ugh, we have it so hard out there, right, Albert? Not to mention, how would this affect him socially? Is it like a taboo within the vampire community? Would we have gotten an arc where we see our parents? Don't fuck with me, author, because you're about to piss me off. If I find out that you plan to have an arc where we would get to see a vampire mommy but you had to scrap it to end it earlier, I'm about to go ballistic. I mean, my theory is that all of her blood sucking would eventually turn him into a vampire in the future, and then they can grow old to 1,000 together, like the happier version of Frieren and Himmel. But I don't know, and really, nobody knows, because the story ended before it could even explore that plot. But either way, this was still pretty fun. I enjoyed myself while reading it. A shame I didn't get to realize his full potential like Megumi, but unlike Megumi, the overall story was very satisfying and had a pretty good conclusion. Would I not like it as much if I hadn't prepared myself with extremely low standards? Probably. I tend to really hate it when a story I like ends right as it was getting good. But that's why I am here to tell you guys to give it a read for yourself while knowing about its cancellation, so you can still enjoy it at least half as much as I did, or hey, maybe like it way more than I did. That's pretty plausible. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Don XX Miss Tsukimine a solid score of 7 out of 10. Alright y'all, here's another video that drop later than once a week, but look, at least it's still consistent to a degree, right? Haha, please don't kill me. Listen, it's kinda hard when I don't have my own bedroom and sleep in the living room, which I also share with someone. And when I do the recordings for these videos, I can only do it when I have my own space for myself, which is next to impossible when there are 5 people sharing a small apartment. Cut me some slack, okay? At least the second channel is consistently uploading now, so subscribe to that if you're interested. I've also started posting more on Patreon, where you can not only see my uncensored versions of my videos, but also exclusive reviews of certain stuff, and unreleased videos, and also old videos that got deleted years ago. So yeah, there's a lot over there. And my Instagram, that's supposed to post shorts and life highlights, yeah, that one is getting delayed. I won't start uploading there until like a month from now. Sorry. But hey, follow it anyway, or follow my official Kiwi account so you can see me posting stupid shit, or Twitter that I don't use, except when I feel like farting my brain. Anyways, got nothing else to say now. Bye-bye.